Hey there folks, welcome back to Let's Play Illusion of Gaia. I'm the MysteriousJG. So, I guess competent but unimpressive gameplay was earning some comments, but getting confused about a puzzle, that really drew people out. So yeah, I guess I didn't quite figure out that statue puzzle, because I didn't realize I had to suck the guy up once before I could suck him over to the side, but it's okay. We got it done eventually, folks, and we know now that we're going to be facing a boss to start this video. I'm happy that we get to fight the boss as the Dark Knight Freedon, and I want to see if we can actually carry a charge shot with us into battle of Dark Friar. I know that we have stairs collapsing, and oh, there he is. See if he has invulnerability frames. We can attack right up top. Usually just whacking the enemies works pretty well. Didn't have time to get a shot charged there. He's kind of coming down here within my strike range. It's not really been necessary to charge the shots that much. Ooh, evade a bit here. That was close. You have defeated the huge demon. Look, a mystic statue. So that wasn't too shabby. We came real close to dying, but we didn't use any healing. I'm sure there's plenty of playthroughs out there with a no damage taken approach to this. It's okay. Even Lethal himself uses save states when the torpedoes start coming fast and furious. And I'm only talking about that because I know he's watching this. Just don't want Lethal thinking that, like, you know, every video that I'm doing, I'm constantly talking about him using save states, because I just last night watched him have to resort to save states on a particularly nasty piece of PS1 primitive first-person control 3D fun. A strange noise fills the air around you. From out of nowhere, you hear Neil's voice. Ew. Well, you've fallen to the ground. You're falling to the ground. Grab the airplane and we'll fly out of here. Is there any place in particular I should grab it by, or...? I wonder if I stay up there long enough if I eventually crash and die. Shoot! I dropped the contact.
You what? Idiot! We're this doomed for sure now.
Hey, wait a second, lady. I'm piloting this plane. That's pretty impressive. Nobody else seems to have this kind of technology. Neil, it's still a little ways to the ground. Try again. Okay, I'll get him this time. We have no control of this, folks. It's pretty tense. But it's just a plot scene. That was a close one.
Sob, sob.
Sniff, sniff. Don't cry. Will's been saved. He's found Jesus as his personal savior.
Neil, you were great. This invention saved Will's life.
Don't flatter me. No, we should try and locate the necroans. I expect the shape of Cygnus is the same. Wait. I expect the shape of Cygnus is the same as the shape of Mu. Oh boy, here we go. So, two things have been coming out in the comments recently. One is that I wasn't able to solve that puzzle very efficiently. But two is that, oh, watch out, JJ. The next dungeon, that's the one where the game stops pulling its punches. Look out, JJ. It's about to get tough, JG. Well, I will tell you this much. I did remember, I think I've made comments here or there about how, oh, this game wasn't that tough. I'm not expecting this to be that bad. It had a few rough spots, but it wasn't too bad. I do specifically remember an underwater castle kind of section, and a section where you were, like, coming above ground when these little, like, floodplain areas with, like, living rock-type monsters, but most of it was underwater. And I remember it being the lost continent of Mu. And I remember the game getting a lot harder at that point. I do specifically remember that. I remember other stages in this game. You fight through the Great Wall of China at some point. I don't remember that being that bad. I remember this section that's coming as being pretty rough. also remember that in Terra Enigma, there was a section where you're fighting through a forest full of werewolves that was kind of difficult, but otherwise the game wasn't too bad. And I remember both this game and Terra Enigma seeming to be a lot more difficult than any section of Soul Blazer was. So, yeah, this next section might be... I'm confident I'll be able to do this without, you know, screaming in frustration, but it's also... I'm expecting this to be a bit harder than East, you know, Sky Tower, Sky Garden, which was only difficult because of that one puzzle. Well, to the ocean. Moonlight somewhere in the ocean. Let's just fly around the ocean constantly until we find it. No problem. We've got fuel to fly around for several weeks, which is what it would take to explore the ocean. Oh wow, as soon as I start trying to see if I have any control over it, the plane crashes. Like, I pressed one of the arrow keys to see if I had anything to do with anything, and that's... As soon as I did that, it was... We got on the airplane in the nick of time. Neil's a good inventor, but it seems there's always something missing in his inventions.
Pop's Machina always break down when you need 'em most.
I guess nobody's perfect, including Neil. Oh well, Neil tried his best. That's why we all felt guilty when we had to resort to cannibalism and eat him. The next thing we knew, Will was standing in a huge palace. Said the narrator. Now it's Will talking. I couldn't remember anything since my water landing. Was everyone safe? Yeah, I remember this part being tough. That's odd. Even if I touch it, no damage occurs. What's going on, Holmes? Well, if you can't even take damage, it can't be that bad. Let's not bother to record. We got the power save states. You know, I should have said this before attempting to take on the boss, but my excuse if I do poorly here right now is I really should be in bed. I need to get a video recorded, processed, and uploaded tonight, or I will fall behind in my every other day a video thing. And if I try to do it tomorrow night real quickly and upload it, that'll screw up my ability to record the Inanago and Inugo and whatever it's called, the Ninja RPG I've been playing with Zerfall, available now on Zerfall's Let's Play channel. Check it out on YouTube, zerfall.com, except that's not really the address. What? A sign of life in the right-hand room. What? I can hear a soft voice from somewhere.
This is the Palace of Vampires. The fountain in this palace produces demons continuously.
So they said the room to the right. I'm making a point of not exploring. Ah, damn it. I'm making a point of not exploring there because I'm... This game, it loves to make you miss dialogue.
In the basement of the castle is a strange fountain. The stone is there. Hurry, hurry.
It's getting kind of involved here.
The purification stone in the castle.
Hey, you damaged me. That was not what I was expecting. I was made to believe that would not be happening. Ooh, there's plenty of enemies in this room. Alright, let's backtrack. Apparently we want to go deal with... I feel like we should clear the first room of those skeletons before we do anything else. Oh, it has 0 enemies, though. Weird. Maybe part of what makes this one difficult is that it's confusing. Oh, Lily.
Wah! Hey, you scared me. I practically had a heart attack. I saw Eric in the other room, but something strange in the neighborhood. Who are you gonna call? His body is half transparent. I can see through it. And he seems to be unconscious, as if his spirit is lost. Let's stick together. We don't know what'll happen.
Oh, that's... Damn it, game!
Well, let's go.
Damn it. Anytime I try to do anything, it makes me miss dialogue. Alright, let's just go straight over here from the beginning. Oh, well, we missed Lily. Alright, Kara.
Well, where is it?
Oh, she's looking for the purification stone. Well, I found a red jewel. Oh, there will be 3 red jewels in this place, and all I have as descriptions is they are in treasure chests. So I will play this entire section in desperate fear that we will miss jewels. So these guys aren't considered enemies, or... Sound of life in the left-hand room. What is this place? Dark and lonely. Mother, save me. I found a red jewel. Alright, well, that's 2 of 3 red jewels, so that's some of my nervousness taken away. And it's starting to look like the skeletons in this room don't count as enemies. Maybe I don't have to worry that much about missing stuff. Here we go.
Well, you scared me. I had a heart attack almost.
Now, I'm not going to press anything at all.
I'll borrow Will's pocket for a while. Well, let's go.
Alright, there we go. Now, since I think we've done that correctly and haven't missed anything, let's save our game again. Well, we're very upset. Apparently, my cursor has been showing up in videos. That had been a problem in my videos a long-ass time ago, but I thought I'd, like, you know, I'm talking like while doing Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, thought I had changed my settings, but I think I may have reinstalled my recording software since that time. Have I already done this? Yeah, okay, I'm kind of inadvertently backtracking here. Because I guess there's more than one way to navigate around this floor somewhat. But this goes nowhere, so we gotta get to the next. Yeah, I remember this place being a place where I was doing a frustrating amount of backtracking to get my health back. And part of that is, of course, the fact that I had grown accustomed in the earlier dungeons to that never really being an issue. So it's not so much the... I guess you could say the game's not pulling its punches anymore. For soft voice, some sort of purification stone in the past. Or it could just be a matter of... Not that the game got really hard, but that the shift in difficulty was abrupt. But that being I'm saying all this, we haven't really... I ran into one enemy that I wasn't ready for because I thought we were in some kind of plot area where enemies didn't hurt us. These guys kind of deal a lot of damage, though. Lily speaks from his pocket.
Isn't there a hole in the coffin? I could get in through the hole. I better have a look. I found a strange stone inside this coffin.
You found the purification stone. Alright, so what does that actually do for us, though? Okay, voice has been telling us to find it. I can't seem to open the lid. Lily speaks from the pocket.
Wait a minute, isn't there a hole in the coffin?
And she's going to check this one, too.
Strange, there's a key fastened inside the coffin. No wonder it didn't open.
Well, we got this purification stone. What we're meant to do with it, I don't know. But we got metal slimes dropping from the ceiling. Red jewel. Nice! Okay, that is good. That means we don't really have to worry about purification stone. Got a statue. Means we don't have to worry about finding any more red jewels around here. Although, now that I'm looking at the FAQ that I've been checking for red jewels, the Moo is a separate palace. So I guess this Seaside Palace and the Moo Dungeon I remember being difficult are not one and the same. They're just kind of story adjacent. Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to show up. My Lance voice and my Neil voice. There's a lot more enemies up here.
Wait, it's a strange... What? It's a strange fountain. Would there be a connection between this and the rock?
The wacky rock? Let's try to clear this room of enemies before we continue the plot. Oh man, you guys don't count? Or did the enemies reset? Yeah, the enemies are resetting. So I should have not have gone through that door, because now I gotta kill everything again. Alright, so let's clear this room of enemies and get whatever our bonus is going to be. Yeah, it seems like we're right on top of where these enemies are supposed to show up. And they're not showing up. Okay, I don't get it. The enemies that I thought we were going to be able to encounter are not coming out. So let's do this purification thing after all, because it's starting to seem like that's all that's going to move the story. Should we explore this room more first? Not really. Sure hope we can trust the mysterious voice that was telling us to do this. He raises the purification stone. The stone begins to glow and then disappeared into the spring. Because we threw it in there. Splash. Something happening? I'm afraid to touch any buttons because we'll kill a dialogue screen. Maybe enemies will pop out now that I can... Oh, you guys weren't enemies. Saved, thank you. I was brought to this place from Phrygia and changed to a demon. Lily speaks from her pocket.
What, all the demons we saw before were human beings?
Well, good thing we didn't kill very many of them, only a few.
I know now what it feels like to be close to death. Death is terrifying. I wonder if the animals we eat feel the same way I felt right before death.
Oh, Enix. I want entertaining games. Don't guilt trip me about enjoying meat. We're certainly glad we saved you guys.
We were labor traders arrested for the crime of buying and selling human beings. But the party officials sold us to a vampire. I can't believe it.
I mean, the royal we. He's the king of the labor trader, the king of the pilots. I can't believe those party officials would treat us like cattle. Me, the slaver.
A nice guy asked me, so I followed him. I don't trust men.
Well, not after that.
Well.
This is the result of being tempted by a beautiful woman. Yes, Enix, teach us that sex is wrong.
The man sleeping in this coffin is surely a vampire. They're plotting something.
I don't see anyone sleeping in these coffins. So now we've got a whole little underground village of people just hanging around a scary monster temple. That's right, a scary monster temple. So now somebody who knows the game better than I do will have to tell me, were we supposed to avoid killing any of the monsters? Or is the fact that there were monsters that we were not allowed to see on the map and therefore kill, that these were the only ones that turn into people anyway, and we were supposed to be fighting those blue and gray slime monsters that we did fight? Because if I was supposed to be avoiding them, I certainly could have done. Vampire couple lives in the coffins. They bring people here and turn them into demons and use them for labor. Vampire couple, well, they had a third coffin for something. Maybe they just like to stretch out sometimes.
This place is connected to the land of Mu. The vampires are looking for something there.
Probably milk. We were almost changed into demons. I'm afraid of what might have happened if you had come later. You would have been changed into demons and forced into labor. So basically for you, you're already kind of a demon, but you would have been forced into labor, which is what other people that encounter you were forced into.
I've heard vampires say something like the mystic statue can be found in Mu.
Well, I assume so, otherwise we wouldn't be coming here as part of the story. I stole a key from the vampire woman. Here, take it. You received the key to the seaside palace. These vampires have certainly got some nice digs for themselves. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot of decoration in this palace. On the top floor of the palace's passageway leading to Mu. It's probably up there. Well, actually, I'm not sure which of these two paths is going to take us out of here, but we have yet to encounter any of our friends who we saw as, ghostly visages. We keep finding the rooms that they were in, and they're always empty. You guys making out? What will we do now? Deserted the middle of the ocean? It's a good question. We really don't have the ability to help you. And by we, I mean myself and Lily.
Maybe we could seize the palace and live together. There together.
Yeah, I think you could, except you don't have a food source. You guys want to live in this undersea palace forever? If you had a food source, you could... And some, beds. Yeah, you really don't have the comforts of civilization here. Now that I'm looking at it and thinking about it, you really don't have everything you would need to make a go out of it here. Doesn't go. Take off, you hoser. Very close to ending this video, I think. But we got all the jewels that we needed to get. And this would not open until we completed the plot stuff. I love the key is in like a bubble. Palace key to Mu Tunnel. He tries using the key to the seaside palace. The key turns, making a strange sound. Lily spoke from his pocket.
The phantom land of Mu lies ahead.
Thanks. Thanks, Lily. Lily speaks from his pocket.
A passageway. I wonder if it goes clear to Moo.
Well, you just said the phantom... Whatever. Yeah, I remember those little stone faces. Lily and I set foot on Moo. They will probably welcome us after waking from a sleep of 1,000 years. Yeah, sure they will. They're just going to be excited to see you, pal. I think part of the problem here was that you've got a long ways to backtrack to get to healing. You guys are not like humans that I need to rescue, right? You're just flat out enemies. Oh, I remember these guys too. No, this place sucked. These guys could take some hits. You gotta find like safe spots to hit them from. And there's all this stuff going on with like lowering the water levels to get treasures. Don't know how I'm dealing with you. Okay, there's a passage to you. Oh, he got angry. He got mad. Alright, so this first screen is not so bad. I'm starting to get a little full of myself here. Oh, yeah, and you learned the slide dash move here. I remember that from these little holes. I'm starting to get cocky, folks. I can feel it coming. I'm going to start talking about how well this is going, and then the pain's going to hit. Okay, they can throw at angles. So you kind of want to get in close so that they're tricked into throwing it straight ahead. I want to kill these two before the counter resets somehow. The counter doesn't reset. The counter only reset in that one screen because it was that was like a bogus counter. You couldn't actually kill those enemies and get the normal rewards. If I go back, it'll still only be 6 enemies, 2 treasures. Ooh. I do not recall these guys. Freaking wizard robes. Although I'm starting to think maybe they were what I remember being difficult about it, because that was a pain in the butt. And if you get to an area where you're fighting those as well as a bunch of other enemies, as annoying as that was when he was by himself, that would be no fun if you're also trying to fight a group of these guys, or several of them at once. It is empty. Oh, fuck you, game. I thought these guys were going to be happy to see us after 1,000 years of sleep. What is this? Gotcha. Oh. I think we'll need to use these to solve some puzzles eventually. Tell you what, it's pretty much time for me to get to bed anyway. Well, to call it a video and to get to bed. It's interesting how those things do that. I'm wondering if I should just start making my way back towards the save point now. That's the smart move, JG. Before you get yourself in trouble. because you need to call it anyway, and you're going to want to start the next video with full health, but... yeah, this guy's hit hard. You don't really need to take... by this game's normally fairly gentle standards, you don't have to take a lot of hits from the giant golems throwing rocks at you before you are in trouble. But again, the big frustration is that you have to go way far back to get healed. So I guess what's really gonna determine how difficult the stage is... wait a second. Was I able to clear the enemies here? And I just, no, because you can't go any... okay, definitely we're going to have to hit a switch and reduce the water level or something before we can do any more here. So here's the key, folks. This room is supposed to have 2 pieces of treasure and 6 enemies remaining. Forget what I said about the treasure. Treasure is irrelevant. 2, or should be 6 enemies left. So if I make my way all the way back to the Seaside Palace and heal... and I remember this as being the big frustration about the place. It seemed like you had an inordinately long way to go before you get healed. And of course, you don't get to play as the Dark Knight for Dawn. Which I don't know how much easier that would make it, but it would make it a bit easier. So the real thing now is going to be... do the enemies reset? I'm pretty sure they don't. But if they do, because you leave the entire Moo area and head, like, you know, as long as you stay within Moo... oh, okay, it's still 6. So this is going to be... this is going to take, you know, if I want to do this right, and I don't want to abuse save states, this is going to take some... you have to play smart, you're going to have to try to avoid taking hits, and when you take some hits, you're going to have to suck it up and accept the penalty, which is going back to get healed. Otherwise, we save state. Either way, it's going to take a little bit more careful play than we've maybe been able to get away with in some earlier stages. I'm MysteriousJG. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you'll come back next time as we continue to explore the land of Moo, which is essentially Asian version of Atlantis. Catch you guys next time.